Hey, it's been a minute. So it's a new year, 2024, unless you're watching this way in the future. Hello, it's January 2024 right now. And I don't know about you, but a new year always is kind of the energy to start thinking about what am I going to do this year? I'm going to hopefully run a couple marathons and blah, blah, blah. That's that stuff. Let's talk digital ministry stuff. So what are you thinking of doing for all the digital ministry things in your space? Now, I'm going to share one of my favorite things we kind of stumbled into last year and how we're hoping to really lean into it more this year. But if you want 24 ideas for digital ministry in 2024. See what I did there? We're having a webinar series, which if you're watching this the minute it's uploaded, it's, January 11th right now. Next week, January 16th, 17th, 18th. Yeah, we're doing 3 mini webinars where me and a guest on each one will share 8 ideas for each for digital ministry. The total of all 3 webinars, 24 ideas. If you're watching this and it's after that date, you can just click a link below to get access to the webinars that way. You should join us is what I'm saying. So click the stuff, join us, blah, blah, blah. But here is one of my favorite ideas that we've stumbled upon that we're really going to lean into in 2024. Now, this is at the Riverside Church where I'm the digital minister. I get to work with all of our clergy and all of our congregants and all the ways that digital stuff is just a part of our lives. We have a unique position where most of our worshiping congregation is not in the room on a Sunday morning. We've been tracking this meticulously ever since the pandemic shifted our whole world. And then when we returned to in-person worship, we've been keeping track. And we roughly average 60% of our worshiping congregation is online. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little bit less. Only a couple times does it ever flip-flop. Easter and Homecoming Sunday and a couple others maybe, but it's these special. So our norm is most people are online. So what's the experience they have? Now, my favorite thing we stumbled upon is communion. For a long time, communion online was simply this, like peeking in through the window, watching people in the room have communion while I just kind of, do my own thing, I guess. We've shifted that. This came from our online congregation. We have a virtual coffee hour on Zoom every Sunday after worship where I talk with the congregation there and we have the preacher come and have a conversation. It's great. We always talk about how's it going with the online experience? And one idea came to, what if we did this for communion? Not this, like a YouTube video, this meaning Zoom. So we now, on Sundays when we have communion, which is the first Sunday of the month for us, we have a link on screen, a QR code. It's always announced at the front of the service. It's in the bulletin, all the ways we can let you know. It's on our website, trcnyc.org/communion has the link to join, where we have a Zoom space open during the YouTube live stream broadcast. So there's kind of 2 things happening at once. I consider this kind of like the separate but simultaneous live online experience. So when all the people in the room are going forward to receive communion, in the physical space, we invite everyone online to just join us on Zoom. And we get a whole crowd of us there, bringing whatever we've got with us. I like to say that we do not deny the farthest back row from communion at Riverside. So, online being the farthest back rows, because you might be, across the country, around the world, but we still invite you to join this community on communion. So we all have our things and it's just a brief moment. It probably takes 7 minutes at most. It's mostly me just inviting people into the space. We always put it in the chat what elements people brought, because there's always an array of things. It's always fun. And we'll often have people unmute to kind of respond, this is the bread of life. Thanks be to God for the bread of life, the similar kind of experience they would have in the space. And it's so meaningful. It's so powerful to see us all literally at the same time taking a drink, taking a bite of whatever we have. But it's got me thinking about just this as a thing we can replicate. What are the things that just don't always work to make it a simultaneous experience for everyone? But how do we have these separate but simultaneous experiences? Communion, I think, is one of those where the in-the-room experience is a thing. And what's the online version? And how do we just have those existing simultaneously and available? And then the other thing we're going to look at doing this for is Ash Wednesday. How do you do Ash Wednesday? Do you simply make it an in-the-room, physical experience? And if you're at home, go touch some dust. Okay. Why not have another little liturgical moment? If you're at home, click this link to join on Zoom to have a special, at home online ashes liturgy moment now. My thinking is anytime we're inviting people to get out of the pew in the room and go up and do something, how do we make a similar click a thing, do a thing, have a moment for the online crowd? That I think is when it really moves from everyone kind of being a, observing participant. You're all sitting in your seat, wherever it might be. Now you're all doing a thing. Okay, if the people in the room are getting up to do this, what's the thing online we're doing? It doesn't always have to be we all do the exact, maybe we can if it works for everyone to do the same thing, but I think at times you just let the two exist side by side. The point being, don't try to smash everything together. Sometimes just let them both have the best possible experience. And then the great thing is about these Zoom things, it's just like people leave the YouTube video going, they just join us on Zoom, and then you just leave the Zoom meeting and go back to the YouTube thing. So simple, but it's one of my favorite ideas. We stumbled upon it last year. It's definitely a part of our rhythm, and I'm looking at ways to just replicate this for so many things we do, because that's the tactic. How do you then take the idea you've learned and then you know that. Okay, so this is to say a couple things. Number one, check out these webinars because there's going to be 24 ideas, 23 more. That's going to be one of mine. I'd love to hear your ideas though. What ideas do you have for digital ministry in 2024? Anything, podcast you're starting, ways you're using a platform, updates to your church email, all of these digital stuff is essential to what it means to just exist in the world today. And I think it's essential for our churches as well. And I'd love for us to just crowdsource. So drop a comment, share what you are thinking and scheming and dreaming and planning for the year. And we'll talk more soon. Okay, bye.